And we welcome you back in for continuing coverage of All Star Sunday on TenbandTV and also streaming on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. PIHL All Star Sunday 2. This is the second of 2 Class A games because of 25 teams being in the single A classification. 2 games in the books, D2 and the Gold Division from Class A. We've got the Blue Division on tap here in Class A in game number 3. Matt Bandrak, Kevin Zomansky, Bob Orquist. The 3-man crew transfers over. We didn't change our positions, just what we're doing in this game.
Threw me off a little bit there. You guys are going to stay on the on wing instead of switching to the off wing like you would for the power play.
Kevin, you're still the man in the middle regardless of our roles here.
I'm still the distributor in the middle, the playmaking center.
12 teams in the Blue Division, 13 in the Gold Division. Blue Division is out there. Let's go to PA announcer Austin McLean. He'll take you through the starting lineups and the national win.
All right, fans, let's meet your Class Blue, Class A Division All Stars. Introducing first, Team Black. From Indiana, number 2, Owen Abraham.
We got a new driver.
Sorry, from Indiana, number 2, Brady Oates. From Hampton, number 3, Eli Schwarzbach. From Avonworth, number 4, Jack Dolan. From Mars, number 4, Jack Weaver. From Mars, number 12, Max Zagorski. From Mars, number 18, Ben Bowser. From Indiana, number 15, Ruth Brown. From Indiana, number 19, Gabe Nettleton. From Avonworth, number 20, Cooper Powell. From Hampton, number 22, Preston Cochrane. From Hampton, number 23, Michael Cummings. From Mars, number 29, Adam Gowell. From Mars, number 32, Ethan Factor. From North Hills, number 45, Chris Rushaw. From Wheeling Park, number 47, Cooper Abraham. From Richmond, number 58, Austin Glow. From Hampton, number 61, Joey Stevenson. From Richland, number 62, Mitch Timpson. From Avonworth, number 78, Austin Zetkovsky. From Avonworth, number 91, Danny Mack. Coaches for Team Black is Cody Black from Mars. Assistant coaches, Chris Cinciano from Avonworth and Steve Rakovic from Indiana. That is Team Black. Now introducing Team Irving. From North Catholic, number 4, Ryder Graff. Court, number 12, Aiden Ballman. From North Catholic, number 13, Anthony Neely. From Mars, number 15, Jack Turch. From North Catholic, number 17, Beckett Dunn. From Moon, number 28, Tyler Ziegler. From Wheeling Park, number 28, Haley Hastings. From Butler, number 33, Anthony Drumbat. From North Catholic, number 35, Wyatt Cleveland. From Moon, number 45, Josh Corey. From West Allegheny, number 56, Nick Hay. From Butler, number 59, Brayden Hartsock. From North Hills, number 60, Dylan Kova. From West Allegheny, number 61, John Weinland. From Avonworth, number 74, Linus Jasanowski. From Butler, number 77, Mason Huey. From North Hills, number 79, Jonathan Drosky. From West Allegheny, number 85, Brandon Twitolski. And from Moon, number 96, Eric Hartman. Head coaches for Team Urig is Kobe Urig from Moon. Assistant coaches, Jonathan Hoffman from North Catholic and Jeremy Swegman from North Hills. That is Team Urig. Tonight's referees are Mike Trago, and Jim Weaver. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Class A Blue Division All Stars. We ask you to please rise as you're able to remove your hats and direct your attention to the flags beside the scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say not that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
We're set for the second of two Class A PIHL All Star games. The blue division is this one. The gold division took place earlier. 13 teams in the gold division, 12 in the blue division, 25 total. Hence the need, guys, for two All Star games for Class A.
Yeah, that was a real discussion, Bob, about how to, honor a large enough number of players in that classifications with so many schools making it up. So I think it's come out to be a good compromise. You have 5 All-Star games. Makes a longer day for the league people here and everyone else working it, but it does allow more participants from the A classification.
Team White will be Team Urick as Kobe Urick, excuse me, is the head coach. He's from Moon High School. The dark team, Team Black, that kind of almost works out, as Cody Black, the Mars head coach, leads that squad. And we see 4 Mars Planets taking the ice to start this one.
Countered by 3 North Catholic Trojans and a couple of Moon Tigers.
Our goalkeepers to start, Haley Hastings from Wheeling Park. She's a junior. She's the only female in either of these All-Star games. She's in the goal where the puck is to our left, and to our right on the other end is Danny Mack, the goaltender, the senior from Avonworth. Danny Mack is a 2-time All-Star. Puck is played in. The dark team in the attack, they get it in front to the backhand, and there's a stick save by Haley Hastings. Hastings is 6-2-2 on the season with a 293 goals against average and an 856 save percentage. A shot comes the other way that misses the net. Kept in though, nicely came near the point. Beckett Dunn, the captain from North Catholic. This puck is cleared out. Will it be long enough for icing? Indeed it will. Danny Mack, by the way, 12-4 for Avonworth on the season. He's got a 300 goals against average, an 854 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Mentioned he's a 2-time All-Star, and he's faced 815 shots, which is second most, not only in Class A, guys, but also in the PIHL.
Danny Mack was a big part of the Avonworth playoff run last season as the Antelopes
currently 3rd in the Blue Division. Kept in by Jonathan Trosky from North Hills, not once but twice. And then Jack Dolan will play it away but not out.
It's a sea of red out there on the ice right now.
Mostly all red except for a Morris player, Tersch, who's back on defense in white. Other player, Hastings, has some red in there too. So on the attack, on the forecheck actually, winning the puck is Team Black. They're going to go to the right point. Now coming to the center point, shot through traffic. Hastings never saw it off the wrister from Jack Dolan, but it went wide, and getting it and taking it out of the zone, Dylan Coball, who is from North Hills. Back to play it in his own zone.
Oh, giveaway.
Schwartzbach gave it away. Put it right on the tip of Gabe Nettleton. The Indiana Indian is a 3-time All-Star. Gabe Nettleton scored a goal as a sophomore, and here he comes right down the center of the ice. Also the captain for Indiana. Backhander, that's a good save. Puck on the stick of Michael Cummings, who came into the near circle, and his backhander was absorbed by Haley Hastings.
See how this game breaks down, guys. The previous one we did, it took a while before we started seeing the offense. It took about almost 2 periods before we finally broke through and started to see some goals scored. Then we ended up with 6 on the board.
Schwartzbach keeps it in at the right point, throws it into the right corner. And now the white shirts, Team Urick, will dump it out all the way back the other end. Not going to be far enough for icing. Play to the near boards, and there's a shot. I think Danny Mack got his first. They've got a stick on that wrister taken by Josh Corin.
Steakum sounds good right now, too.
Absolutely. Here comes in a chance for Mars, a diving attempt to try to get that puck forward. Excuse me, it's a Hampton player. Couldn't quite get there. Now back the other way, just that quickly comes up. It's an effort by Joey Stevenson from Hampton, who dove, and now the dark shirts in their own zone have it. They play it behind the net. Mac Zagorski will stop. That's a good turn to create space. And a clear and a nice one. Right on the stick of his teammate Jack Weaver, who comes in on the backhand. Centers it, never got through. Played up in the air and cleared by Team White. D to D, comes back near side to Zagorski, Max Zagorski, the alternate captain, senior at Mars. Zagorski wants to study finance. Advanced to college. Dumped in, Jack Turch, his teammate. So opposite sides for a couple of the Mars Fighting Planets. Hopefully no fighting involving the Planets today.
Bob, they kind of had like a smile on their faces. They were attacking one-on-one right down here. It's kind of like they're giggling that they're...
well, it's bragging rights,
yeah.
right? Who buys lunch if someone gets a point or a goal
Or cooks the steakums.
on a shift. I'm good with that. Anthony Trombat behind his own net, trying to clear it. Actually gets it back to the point. Kept in at the far point by Ryder Graff. He keeps it in again, but bounces over the stick of Trombat. That gives the dark shirts and Team Black a chance to clear it. Here they come on the attack, and it's Ben Bowser weaving his way in. Backhand pass. It's behind everyone. It finds the stick of Anthony Trombat. It comes the other way. He'll dump it up, and coming down the left side, there's a shot that's blocked and goes out of play with 12:47 showing in a scoreless first period here at the Robert Morris University Island Sports Center, hosting all 5 All-Star games this afternoon.
The early part of the game, we saw a little bit of action down here in the left where Hastings will make a couple of saves, but since then, it's been a lot of feeling out from both sides, and
I think the tempo's been good. I think it's been better than the start of the game that just concluded. They're kind of going up and down the ice, seeing some plays made. No real threatening scoring opportunities to force the goalies to make terrific saves, as we're getting some instructions to, it's the neck guard warning.
It's always the neck guard warning.
that's what it's been all year, yeah. It's been to reiterate, the neck guard after the unfortunate death of former Penguin Adam Johnson over playing in a professional league in England. Neck protection has been made mandatory all the way down from the ECHL level down through high school hockey. So all players must have their neck guards on at all times. It's not optional like you'll see mouthpieces stuck in the helmet here and there. Players, and that's what the referees are telling now, these guys have to have the neck guard on all times or you will be issued a penalty.
To be fair, before that tragic incident, it's been a rule in this league for a long time, and now the players are going to have to go off and
There's
go
3,
get them.
There's 6.
Mass exodus.
Some had them on the bench, 3 from each team, so that was fair and arbitrary.
We're going to take a pause.
Actually, a couple of players on the ice had to go get their neck guards.
This is kind of comical, actually.
Well, just because it's an all-star game, Kevin, without rules there is chaos. So they must follow the rules, and also we obviously don't want to see anybody get hurt either.
They will come out and they will put it around their wrists. They will put it around the ankles. They will put it anywhere but on their neck during warm-ups and hope that they don't have to wear them. They, for some reason, they just do not like to comply with an easy rule.
Hayden Bauman wins the face-up down in the near corner for Braden Hartsock. It's off of his stick. Hartsock forechecking, keeps it alive. Bauman will dump it around. Hartsock from Butler, Bauman from Freeport. Puck played behind the net, and that's Braden Hartsock with it. Comes to the right corner, falls down. That's picked up there by Cooper Abraham, the Wheeling Park Patriot. And we got our first penalty, a hooking penalty. It comes early in the game. We had 1 penalty in the last game. And now we get our first one after the neck guards are on and the players come back out. We'll get a power play 4 minutes and 41 seconds in for Team White.
This is a penny.com power play try.
Team White, Team Urick
Team Black County number 4, Jack Nolan.
on the power play. Coach Urick, the head coach, Cody Blackstein, trying to kill the penalty. Face off to the offensive zone. And that's a win for Anthony Neely from North Catholic, but it's cleared out. Coming up the ice, clearing it away, is Austin Zadovsky from Avonworth. Old school Calgary Flames uniform color there. Trombat gains the zone, chance to set up for his teammates, and it's Turch. Turch going from right to left and leaves it there for his defense partner. Open in the slot, high shot. Turning was Anthony Neely, but good stick to deflect that, and it goes up into the netting. In the high slot, opportunity from Anthony Neely, the junior from North Catholic, who has 4 power play goals amongst his 11 on the season.
We got 1 neck guard on.
I think I saw all come back, maybe but 1. Maybe they're all 6 are back now. There were a couple other players who were on the ice who had to go off. Kept in at the far point by Jack Dolan. So the power play continues with 1:10 left for Team White. Turch is open. He'll fire. That shot is blocked by Sadovsky. Back to the right point to Turch. He tries to slide it. Does come to Trombat, who goes opposite side to Ryder Graff. Graff plays for the Arctic Foxes and made sure he can play, let them know, coaches or scouts, that he can play both sides of the ice. currently at the left point. A pinch and a keep there by Neely, who's had the shot opportunity. Now it's cleared by Team Black.
Minute and 30 seconds into this power play, and not much to show for it so far through the first 90 seconds.
One shot that was blocked. And now Gabe Nettleton shorthanded. Comes down the right wing and puts a shot on that Hastings smothers, and we'll get a face-off shorthanded zone with 19 seconds to go on the power play for Team Black.
Just to kind of button up the net guard discussion, it is made of material that prevents the blade for some other freak occurrence coming in contact with the neck, and that's the reason for them.
Very important part of equipment. Doesn't happen often, but we've seen it over the years. I mean, going way back to when Clint Malarchuk took that skate in the throat back in 1989, and then saw it happen a couple other times over the years, and unfortunately the tragedy with Adam Johnson. So
it's a good rule to enforce, right? Good piece of equipment to keep everyone safe. Very lightweight from seeing it and understanding. Plus, gives you the old school turtleneck look too, which you don't really see anymore. Back in his own zone, Josh Corrin, the Moon Tiger, also plays baseball and golf. The senior is kept right back in. And on the forecheck comes Team Black, trying to get there first is Preston Cochran from Hampton. He can't skate it away by Beckett Dunn. He plays for the Pittsburgh Vengeance travel-wise. Pretty good talent for North Catholic. Good steal, though, by Michael Cummings. He comes back, stops, tries to pass, can't, does find a teammate in front. Hastings denies the backhand opportunity. Cummings off the Cochran pass.
Talbot heavy line out there, minus Max.
Aiden Bauman comes down the right side. Almost had a 3-on-2 develop, but couldn't get the pass cleanly. Kept in on the pinch from Nick Haig. And now the North Hills captain flying out of the zone. Chris Bouchard. His pass in front, Stevenson, backhander, and a left pad save in the rebound, his own rebound. Stevenson backhanded it wide. There's a shot and a save by Hastings. Long rebound, but it's cleared by our teammates, and that should be icing.
3 big saves on Stevenson. He tried to go high, he tried to go low, he tried to go glove, and Haley Hastings equal to the task.
Stevenson did well to catch that pass. It was a late pass. Muscar kind of threw it in tight towards his feet. He did well to catch it and still create those opportunities on goal there, but still kept off the scoreboard. No score here in the first.
Ben Bowser out there, the Mars Fighting Planet, wins the draw cleanly, comes out of the zone. Kevin, you like this note? Plays for that fantastic boys lacrosse team at Mars. He's committed to play lacrosse and study finance at Maryville University in the Lou.
In the where?
The Lou. Matt knows what I'm talking about.
Come on, you don't have any Nelly albums, Kevin?
No, I don't.
Well, he's from the Lou and he's proud. St. Louis, Missouri, baby.
Bowser dumps it right back in. A team, Kevin, that we've seen Mars Lacrosse, very successful, play many times.
Yeah, just an amazing championship run is that AA program in boys lacrosse.
A couple other lacrosse players, too, spread amongst these rosters.
Guess it's safe to say that Kevin doesn't speak country grammar, Bob?
He does not.
I do not. But the skills translate. When I coached at Central, I had a lot of kids that also played lacrosse in the spring.
We cover that sport and talk about it all the time. Coming down the near side, trying to gain the zone is John Wineland from West Allegheny, also playing for the Pittsburgh Predators. Cleared out and played back at center ice on the back end by Josh Corrin, and he'll get it back in his own zone. As we near 7.5 to go in the first period. Their team has scored, although Neely's on the attack. Good stop move, better defensive play, and a counterattack coming from the Antelopes trio. But the pass is too far for Cooper Powell. Comes to the near corner. Neely back in his own zone. He's tied up on the near boards. And it is cleared up and out back to center ice. It'll be tracked down there by Austin Blau from Richland. Like those unis, looking a lot like the Habs. Shot deflected over top. The net, good stick work defensively by Zagorski from Mars. And here comes a 2-on-2 with Zadovsky down the left wing. Slides it through, and his teammate Powell coming down the middle. That pass did not connect. Stolen though back by
3-on-2.
Cooper Ralston. He shoots on the 3-on-2. Hastings back to cover it up. That's another member of the trio of Avonworth players out there. Cooper Ralston, who's a 3-time All-Star and had a goal as a sophomore.
Sadovsky was right there too, and if the keeper didn't get down to dive out and cover up that rebound, 78 was looking to put that one into the net.
Hastings looking calm and confident so far in this first period.
Definitely the busier of the two keepers.
Even though Wheeling Park is in playoff position, they cannot qualify for the Penguins Cup playoffs, being in West Virginia. Wheeling Park is currently 5th in the Blue Division. This is the Blue Division All-Star game. Second of 2 from Class A. Dylan Coball lost that puck. Hopping on his skates, coming out of zone is Brady Oakes from Indiana. He's just a sophomore. Gives it up. Bauman enters the zone. Aiden Bauman slides it through to the far side. Coball has it, trying to go to the point, cleared up and out. Will that be long enough for icing? It will not be icing. So back to the zone 2. Play it is Cooper Abraham. Oakes turns and fires. Brady Oakes, also part of the baseball team in Indiana. Playing for the Mid-State Mustangs as well, travel hockey-wise. Aiden Bauman winding his way, pocket pick. Stevenson's had a good first period. Here he is, Stevenson, Joey Stevenson. Trying to be unselfish and pass to his regular season and teammate today. That was Preston Cochran, but it didn't get through. Stevenson did get a shot on goal, but it was a right pad save by Hastings. Here comes a chance and a counter and a goal! John Weiland on the breakaway. Weiland roofs it, and Team White, Team Uric leads 1-0.
Quick transition right there, Matt. Looked down for a moment, looked up, and Weiland was walking down the slot. Was able to get that one up high. Here's a good pass from a good patience right there, and he feeds it right through there. What a they would call that a C&I single in baseball, Bob, but he was able to thread the needle on that pass for the breakaway. Excellent pass.
Weiland has the game's first goal, 11+ minutes in. Chance for number 2, fanning on it.
It's a good play there, Bobby, by Michael Cummings. Get in front of that too and block what would have been a shot.
Cummings has the puck, drops it to Stevenson. Tries to go back to Cummings. That is denied by Josh Corrin. We get a whistle as Hastings covers up the puck. So Weiland gets the first goal here this afternoon from West Allegheny. He has 16, which leads West Allegheny on the regular season.
Assisted by number 45, Josh Corrin, and number 56, Nick Hay.
Josh Corrin and Nick Hay get the assists.
So the two defensemen, it was Corrin with a nice pass to Spring Wineland. And a 1-0 lead for Coach Uric's team.
Here it comes again.
Wineland down the left side is Oppling. Mentioned 16 goals and 26 points to lead West Allegheny. Also playing for the Pittsburgh Predators. Tied for 9th in the classification. Wineland is in assists and has a goal in this All-Star game here this afternoon. The junior, Jack Tersch, will skate it in. He's also part of the Mars Boys Lacrosse program and the Pittsburgh Vengeance. Got that puck on a string. Goes to the point, but it eats up his teammate Mason Huey, who has to retreat to center ice.
Remember those early saves that Haley Hastings made to start this period, too. She kept the game scoreless and allowed her team to get the opportunity that eventually led to the Wineland goal.
Good defensive play there by Chris Mouchard just inside his own blue line. And then Mars to Mars as Ethan Factor's this receiving
Another
player
penalty.
on that check. And Ethan Factor takes down Beckett Dunn, and it'll be the second man advantage for Team White.
And the same official, Matt. Somebody got to get the memo here.
So Mars to Mars, Bob, is that Beastie Boys like? In that it would be intergalactic?
We could go with that. Intergalactic, planetary. Moon could get into that equation.
That's it.
By the way, the irony was not lost that during the pregame introductions when they introduced the officials at the end, they came out of the penalty boxes.
The dripping with irony.
Secondpenny.com power play of the afternoon.
Clit up and short-handed attempt coming the other way by Powell, the Cooper Powell, the Avonworth Antelope Jr., 2-time All-Star. Can't get a shot. And here comes Team White. Second time on the man advantage, as you mentioned, but blowing a tire right there is Eric Hartman. clear to the near point, but there's going to be plenty of time for Ryder Graff to keep it in. Saw him earlier on the left point. There he is playing the right point. Mentioned he can play both sides defensively. That doesn't kind of factor in this situation. Maybe a little bit. We'll talk about that time permits. Kevin, what's the advantage of, he's a left-handed defenseman. He can play both sides. What's the advantages or disadvantages involved in that?
Well, you're talking offensively at the point. If you're on your onside, it's easier to keep it in, right? Because your stick is facing the boards, and the passes, you can receive them up there and keep them away from the defenders. Now, when you flip, and it's common to flip on the power play, Bob, that makes the one-timers and the shooting angles better for you. So just, you know, what do you value more at what time in the game? One thing increases percentages depending on what you're looking for offensively.
Well, trying to come short-handed with speed is Cooper Abraham, the Wheeling Park Jr., also a boys lacrosse player. Lost the puck, and then coming back with the man advantage is Beckett Dunn. Half a minute to go on Team White's power play.
We're only a couple weeks away, Bob, from the start of the lacrosse season.
We are. Well, collegiately, we get it in February.
Right, February 1.
High school-wise goes late March. Jack Corrin is pressed up. He keeps it off. Josh Corrin, excuse me. And now it's on the stick of Zagorski. Corrin knocks it down right back to Max Zagorski. In shorthanded, but a step ahead was his teammate, Cooper Abraham. Offside. We have 6 seconds to go on the Team White man advantage.
So it's pretty common to flip the D on the power play to play your offhand. You know, you get that shooting angle. But if you have two lefties, for instance, you know, and you're going to work it on that far side, you can pass it to the point and catch it well and then whip it across easily for a one-timer there. So, you know, you figure out your configuration and then you talk about how to make it work and what kind of plays you can run.
Penalty is over. We're 5 aside with approaching 90 seconds to go in the first period. Back in his own zone, the plate is Ryder Graff. So defensively, you would want the sticks strong side towards the net in the middle of the ice, correct?
Yeah, in normal play, I would prefer to have my left shot D on my left side, my right shot D on the right side. It helps on your breakouts where you're able to protect it from the slot, make the passes coming out. But on the power play, you could switch. And then if you run out of lefties and righties where you have to mix it up, I would typically then use a more experienced defenseman on the offside.
Matt, I'm going to tempt the announcer jinx and say that Haley Hastings is a minute 15 away from a perfect first period.
Had a good stop there, too, on Max Zagorski from Mars on that point shot.
Yeah, and then her teammate almost back clear.
And there it is.
There it is, Bob.
The jinx. Bowser, a lacrosse-type goal from behind the net.
He walked
And we're
out from
tied
X.
at 1.
Sha-na-na.
He walked out from X and put it home. Bob, it's very common in college hockey that the home fans get on the visiting goalie and say it's all their fault. We're gonna point to you and say it's all your fault with the jinx.
Definitely
So
your
walked
fault.
behind the net, and he almost,
Yeah,
it wasn't a high Michigander,
no.
but he lifted it off the ice a little bit, I thought, on that backhand coming out from X. He knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That should be an unassisted goal as that puck in the clear hit the back of the net. Hardsock comes back. We're tied at 1. Late. They try to give and go, and then a redirect in front. That is knocked just wide off the stick of Eric Hartman down the center of the ice with 40 seconds to go in this first period. And a steal. And a hooking call coming. Jack Dolan.
No, they didn't put the arm
No,
up. I was
Jack
calling
Weaver.
for it.
I was agreeing with you. I thought that was a hook. Back in his own zone, the plate is Michael Cummings, whose father Ian just got moved into the interim head coaching job at Hampton. Now back in his own zone to play it there is I gotta make
Nice
sure I got the
pass.
sides right. Dolan.
Team
And
Black goal
Cummings
scored
down
by
low,
grade
shot.
team, Ben Bowser.
Halings held the post. Hastings held the
Unassisted,
post.
tackle goal
So the
118.
turnover costs, and that gets it
Unassisted at 118.
through the first period as Bowser gets the late goal. And Team White and Team Black, Team Uric and the color team, tied at 1. We'll step aside. We're going to have a chance to chat with Mike Joseph here coming up in period number 2 as watching coverage of PIHL All Stars Sunday here on TenbandTV.
And it comes back to Lucas Blows. Hey, rookie, welcome to the show. The Penguins Cup Championship show. The Penguins Cup playoff show. And the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars putting on a show.
Tell the boys and girls I just don't care.
We're back at the RMU ISC. Kevin Zolmanski, Bob Workus, and Mike Joseph has been kind enough to step in and join us. Mike is the head coach and general manager of the club hockey team, the ACHA team here at Robert Morris. We appreciate you taking the time not only to stop by and talk to us, Mike, but to host this great event all afternoon here on Neville Island. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much for having me, boys.
We got Mike as the coach and Kevin as the coach, so we'll let the coaches get into
He's a coach. I'm a former coach.
The coach speak going on as we progress here. We'll talk a little bit to Mike as we're tied at 1 between the teams here in the Blue Division All-Star game, the Team Black and Team Uric. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about the season so far for you and what's been going on here at Robert Morris, team-wise for the Colonials.
Been a pretty busy season, going pretty well. We've had a pretty tough stretch of games here. Last month or so, we've played a bunch of top 20 teams in the country, the Davenports and the Rhode Islands. Teams coming together good. We're a little banged up right now. I think I'm down like 7 guys right now to injuries. It's the ACHA hockey can be pretty physical.
So for those that are unfamiliar, with the level where Mike is coaching is a non-scholarship. You know, a lot of these kids, we hear a lot of recruiting coverage in other sports here, but ACHA non-scholarship has multiple levels, Coach, and there's opportunities at many schools for some of these kids to find a place to play, to enjoy their college season, and it's well organized, right? So maybe you can kind of explain to people what exactly it is that are not familiar.
Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that because the whole ACHA thing is one of the largest college hockey organizations in the world. It's club hockey, but it's unbelievably competitive. The top teams at the D1 level are arguably as good as a lot of NCAA Division I teams. And there are multiple levels within. So there's D1 hockey, D3 hockey, and we actually have a D4 team. So our school, Morris, we rostered 4 teams this year, 3 men's teams and a women's team. We have 109 kids rostered playing hockey. And it's not all about the scholarships, eh? These kids love their hockey just as much as the scholarship players. And club hockey is an unbelievable opportunity for the kids to continue to do that while they're getting their education.
There's conferences, there's playoffs, there's national tournaments. It's all that.
Yeah, the whole 9 thing. We were in Dallas a couple of years ago for nationals, St. Louis for nationals. We travel all over the country playing hockey, and it's extremely competitive. It's also very physical.
Tyler Ziegler now in goal for Team White. He's made a couple of saves. Adam Gowell is in goal for Team Black. Puck in the zone. Mike, you're also listed as a general manager, so talk about what your responsibilities, GM and head coach. I'm sure that makes for a full plate for you.
It does, but being a good Canadian boy from Canada and a hockey guy.
I thought I heard an A in there. So.
Yeah, there is. So even after being down here for over 30 years, I still got a little bit of that. So I run all 4 teams. Like I said, we rostered 109 kids on 4 teams this year. So I do all the scheduling, all the recruiting, just about everything, which is a joy to me. A real pleasure for me to do.
So labor of love.
Absolutely.
Don't worry. So you've been around here. So we're Yinzers. That Yinzer stuff never leaves us either. So
yeah, cool.
Plus as a hockey guy, you called us boys when you came on. So we knew we felt really comfortable.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the different teams you have. That kind of, if a player, a high school kid wants to go to Robert Morris, it gives them different level opportunities to play.
It offers a couple of advantages. One, no matter what level you want to come in and play at, there's hockey for you here in this great facility that we've been building over the years. The other good thing is, and we run it like a true program, it's very competitive. But if a D3 player comes in, makes the D3 team the first year, we are actively encouraging those players to get better and move up in the ranks, play D1 hockey. We want all our kids to get better as they go through their college careers. So it makes for some very competitive hockey and opens up lots of opportunities for the kids.
The Ziegler makes another save, so we've taken you away from watching the game, so to speak. Mike, what would you be looking for scouting-wise in this situation, seeing these players on the ice, and what things maybe would stand out to say, hey, I might want to talk to this kid?
You know, that's a good question, too. Here's the thing, that the biggest jump from high school to the college ranks, I find, is what we're really looking for here is kids that are coachable and kids that are willing to play both ends of the ice and are willing to play 5-on-5 hockey. We're not necessarily looking for a kid who can dangle a puck through 6 players and score a goal. That requires talent. But that doesn't happen at the college level. If you can't play 5-on-5 hockey, you're going to be in trouble. So that's what I'm looking for.
You're kind of evaluating the decision-making and the processing of the game in real time.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that's the hardest thing to teach kids. If we get them at the college level, if they don't already have some of that high IQ built in, it's very difficult to teach that. So.
Well, if you're looking at a goaltender, Tyler Ziegler just had a nice scorpion-type save there for Team White to keep the game tied.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm actually looking for a few goalies this year. You can imagine with 3 men's teams, we've got like 10, 11, 12 goalies, and I'm looking for about 5 goalies right now at all levels. So, you know, I want to mention one other thing too. I get criticized a little bit sometimes. People look at my roster and see that there are a fair number of players from the Pittsburgh area on my rosters, all my teams, even my D1 team. And people go, well, you should have players from farther outside your territory. What I tell people is there's enough good hockey in Pittsburgh. I don't need to travel that far to
so
find
Tyler
good
Ziegler
players.
with another good save there,
Yeah,
Mike. So
I'm seeing that.
He's a Moon resident, so a local kid.
Yeah.
You had a goaltender from Fox Chapel who has done recently well, graduated the last year or so, right? And has moved up in the ranks. I should think of his name, and I can't.
Kevin Mackey or Parker Rutherford?
No, neither of those.
Neither of those?
Nope. Kevin asked a question, covering for your partner. Why look it up?
Part of that, Coach, is the fact that, you know, you're not tapping into the schoolie recruiting budget, right? I mean, you're doing things here, so, you know, you got to go within driving distance or whatever. You're not going to spend a week in Minnesota looking for players.
No, you're absolutely correct. No, we don't have that kind of budget. I wish we did, but even at that, we don't have the kind of staff. Like, I don't have separate recruiters running around the country. I do most of the recruiting. Although if you take a look up on the Hat Trick Club right now, there's 3 or 4 of my coaches are up there helping with the recruiting here today. Those are actually my D3 and my D4 head coaches, so they're actively looking for players here.
You drew the short straw to talk to us. It was Chad Veltri, by the way.
Yeah.
The tie-in I wanted to say is Chad Veltry's from Fox Chapel, so he's a local kid. So there are opportunities for local kids at RMU.
Absolutely, and absolutely there are. We hold a series of prospect skates throughout the summer, starting in March, where the kids can come out for an hour and a half, skate with some of the existing players, see where they'd fit into the program. But yeah, we look heavily at Pittsburgh players. Some of my best teams, some of my best players have been Pittsburgh players.
I remember, Bob, starting my coaching tenure way back after graduating from Duquesne. It would have been around 94. I would spend all day like this at the All-Star games and just try to pull aside as many kids as I could and talk about, you know, promote the program. But there's another aspect that maybe isn't discussed as much, Coach, is they got to have the grades, right? You got to get the grades to get in.
Well, the thing I tell my kids is they are truly student athletes. They are students first. Somebody's writing a pretty good check for them to go to school and get that degree, and they're going to do that. Playing hockey is a privilege that they earn by maintaining their grades. I tell all my kids they have one job when they come to school, and that's school. Take care of that business. The rest will take care of itself.
You know, Bob, we used to take Team Pittsburgh to the Chicago Showcase for years, and as you know, a lot of the D1 programs are great academic schools, and they would approach us about players. One of the first questions was, how's his grades? Because if I can't get him in, he's no good. He's no point wasting time. And that was always one of the early questions they would ask us.
Yeah, because they are student athletes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more disappointing than getting a star athlete into a school and then they fail out after their first or second year because they're not really truly interested in the school part of it. They just wanted to play hockey. So I make sure that my recruits and the parents understand they're going to get an education if they come here. They're also going to play some really competitive hockey for 4 or 5 years.
Those are all good things. We're 7+ minutes into the second period. We're tied at 1 in the PIHL Blue Class A All-Star game. Mike, you talked about coming from Canada, so just want to maybe my last question before I let you go back to pizza and scouting, which are both good things, right? Talk a little about your background and what brings you here. You're obviously a hockey guy, being involved, but talk about your background from your younger days, all the way, if you can, bringing us here to Robert Morris.
Well, I'm on the older side now, so I've been playing and coaching hockey for 63-something years now. Grew up in Canada playing hockey, went through the junior ranks there, moved down here about 30 years ago, actually through Westinghouse, corporate thing with my job, and immediately started coaching and just fell in love with it. And then the Robert Morris gig, that all started back in 1996 when there was no rink here at all. The school was a college, and we didn't have NCAA hockey. And I ran the ACHA D3 program for 7 years. We won national championships in Georgia. The school bought the rink, changed to a university, and started 2 NCAA teams. So I'd like to think that we were there at the beginning of all that, and we've grown since then, 1 team up to 4 teams now. So it's been a real journey. It's exciting, and we're pretty proud of what we've accomplished.
There's a shot over top the net, and we have followed that along too in the rise of Robert Morris. So where at in Canada do you hail from?
Northern Ontario, a little place called Kapuskasing, Ontario. Yeah, way up, about 10 hours north of Toronto.
Nice and warm up
So
there this time of year.
you grew up a Leafs fan?
Well, sadly enough, yes.
Well,
yes, still am.
I was going to throw a jab at you, but I don't really need to, right?
No, I get enough of that. Yeah, diehard Leafs fan. My dad was a Habs fan. Yeah. But I got really lucky landing in Pittsburgh right about the time that Lemieux was kicking off hockey in Pittsburgh, and it's really grown since then, so I landed in a really good spot being a hockey guy.
That's an awesome parallel right there, because that has certainly springboarded things in and around here. We're talking with Mike Powell, who is the head coach and general manager here at Robert Morris, the ACHA club team. Final question from you, Kevin?
No, we'll just say, what's it looking like for the team to make the year playoffs? You got a good shot?
We're going to make the playoffs this year. And the national championship bid is all based on playoff championships, so I think I have a pretty good team this year. We've played some tough teams. If I can get healthy in the next week or two, we're going to do some damage in the playoffs.
What's the name of your conference and who's in it?
College Hockey Mid-America, CHMA, and that's Mercyhurst, John Carroll, Robert Morris, Duquesne, West Virginia, Kent State, and IUP.
Nice.
You sure you don't want to dust off your Foster Hewitt skills, Mike?
Oh, Foster Hewitt, there's a reference, boy.
It's good talk. It was great hockey talk. We appreciate you not only hosting these All-Star games. Mike, you guys will be hosting. We just found out the state championships again in March, but you're a great host, a great partner with the PIHL. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it.
It was good hockey talk. Mike Powell, who's the head coach and general manager at Robert Morris. Good stuff right there.
Thanks.
We bring it back in, Matt Vandrack.
I am not.
You were good.
I am not from Canada.
Hey,
Nor do I coach hockey.
but you will drink a Labatt's occasionally.
Once or twice, maybe.
He did spend some time in West Virginia in his formative years. So
Yeah.
if you want to talk to Matt, if you're from Wheeling Park or Wheeling Catholic or any of those teams. And he does spend some time at the Naylor games.
Yeah, I spent my college years in Morgantown, though. A little different than the Ohio Valley, but yeah. I'll be at some Nailers games. Maybe they can get that Labatt on the Frosty Friday menu instead of Natty Ice.
And a blocker save made on a shot by Anthony Neely. Adam Gowell has made some nice saves. There's a troublesome save, but
Yeah, that kind of pinball hit the flipper and the bumper right there.
handled next to Tyler Ziegler has been good. I got Tyler Ziegler on RMU's radar, I think. I hope.
He's gonna have to. You're gonna be like the you're gonna be the runner, the NLL guy.
A good chat. We had a good
You
conversation.
trying to work
with
on recruiting
Mike Powell.
commission, Bob?
I'm commission free. Just want to see these kids go next level. That's all.
Speaking of Nailers,
Mike
they just
said-
lost their All-Star goalie there, Matt.
They
Got promoted.
They lost one, but Taylor Gauthier, who was the ECHL goalie of the year, is still there between the pipes at West Banco. He did not play last night in that 7-1 shellacking they took against Kansas City.
There comes Team Black, Jim Black's team. Tied at 1. Stevenson tried to, I'm not sure he's trying to shoot that or pass that. It almost worked as a tic-tac-toe play. Bauman comes the other way, drops it back too far for his teammate Neely. And it's cleared up back to the defense. Corrin goes D to D. Corrin plays it over to Mason Huey.
Well, Bob, usually these All-Star games have a lot more scoring.
coming. Stevenson, good wrister high slot that goes to her top. We were scoreless through the first period in the previous Class A game. This one, 1-1 after one, and
we
stay at 1-1.
And we ended up with 6 on the board in the last game, but 1 was an ENG. And this one here, as we're approaching the final third of the second period, only 2 on the board.
And 2 of those goals of the 6 in the last game, Matt, came within around the final 3 minutes. So the offense was harder to come by, or at least it took a while to come by.
Certainly did.
There's a shot that's blocked by Corin. Who slotted to Bauman, who has to reach behind, but a good job by Aiden Bauman. Gets a shot, save. He got the pass over to Beckett, down the save. Aiden Bauman, just 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points, which ties for the team lead at Freeport. Last year, 14 goals and 24 points to lead the Yellow Jackets as a sophomore. And there's the shot by Beckett Dunn, who is tied for 7th in assists. He leads North Catholic, Beckett Dunn, in goals, assists, and points.
There's the second time, Bob, that the Avonworth Antelopes have tried to run a set play from their own zone. The last time they got close with a slight touch right at the center dot, almost on a fast break, and they tried to run it again where the center went it back to the D. If you're Hartman in the wing here on the left side, you gotta get in front of the guy trying to streak.
Is one back to Jack Dolan, who will skate it up. He's another Avonworth Antelope. He wants to go end-to-end, and he does. They got on Ziegler, not so he made a save. Got it in front. Zatowski's doing it's loose, and it's tapped in. And the Avonworth players convert, and it's a 2-1 lead for Team Black. It was
Connor Ralston.
Tapped home by Connor Ralston. Found that loose puck. It was all started, Kevin and Matt, by the great rush from behind his own net by Jack Dolan.
Yeah, you saw that Dolan centering pass right there, and it got into the wash right in the blue paint between the legs of Ziegler. He couldn't find it. It was loose, and Ralston was able to spot it, reach in, and tap home the easy one for Team Dark here for Coach Cody Black.
It looked like Ralston had the chance. We get the announcement for the goal first.
Ralston, assisted by number 78, Austin Zadowski, and number 4, Jack Dolan.
All Lopes.
Time at 05:25.
Avonworth all around. But it looked like, to me, that Ziegler, Kevin, never recovered from that poke check attempt. He poke checked the first one, but got his stick kind of stuck, and that gave the follow try for Ralston to bury it.
Jonathan Trotsky, good rush on the right side. Better save by Adam Gowell. Trotsky got on the rebound, comes to the near point, played in and kept in by Ryder Graff. 2-1 lead. Ralston from Zadowski and Dolan. And here comes Ralston again, looking for number 2. Wrist shot, the right pad save. Ziegler, the rebound by Powell. Save, and the Lopes are relentless late in the second period.
Ralston really had his head up there looking at the net, and to your point, Matt, Ziegler really recovered well on that one for that second shot, getting to his right.
Kevin, I was going to make the point, to your point, right? Set plays, that's why you put the same colored sweaters together in these All-Star games.
You know, you have stuff in your own playbook that you can kind of pull out, although I'm surprised they want to put it on display here against players that they might see in the playoffs.
Backhanded front from Trotsky, missed the net. Here comes Ralston again. What a great finishing shift here by this Avonworth line.
I think that Gal Bob got a piece of that shot, too, from the Trotsky shot with the blocker glove.
2 saves on Trotsky, the leading scorer from North Hills. Gal, the goaltender from Mars, though playing opposite of his head coach. No, he's on his head coach team. There's another Mars player opposite. He's Coach Cody Black, who is the son of Jim Black, the former head coach at NA and Pine Richland, former commissioner as well with the PIHL.
Yes.
There's a shot saved by Gal. So he's got the Mars colors on, Kevin, but the travel had colors with the red and black for Adam Gowell.
He does.
Those are Pittsburgh Vengeance colors.
I believe they are Vengeance. 3:16 to go here, second period. Nice little low angle shot right there of that one.
He's in Team White zone. Now it comes out. It's forced out of the zone. Braden Hardsock from Butler. Plays travel hockey for the Pittsburgh Arrows. That's cleared up and in his own zone to play Mason Huey, also on the Arrows. Another Butler, home tornado. Counterattack, drop pass. Maybe a better serve to shoot that as they try to drop pass to Wineland, who does have a goal in this game. Goal scorers have been Cooper Ralston and Ben Bowser for Team Black. John Weiland has the only goal for Team Uric. It's deflected through center ice, and Mason Huey, the junior, will play it in his own zone. It's off the stick of Oaks. I thought it was off the stick, but it's going to be icing with 2:18 left in the second period. A 2-1 lead in this one for Cody Black's team here in the second PIHL All Star game, the Blue Division All Star game.
With this game, and it's kind of followed the same pattern as the game we had with the Gold Division game. First period was kind of slow. Second period, the team started to find a little more chemistry. So does that mean we're going to be in for a barn burn in the third, provided that Bob doesn't curse the next goaltender who steps into the net?
Sorry, my apologies are out there officially to Haley Hastings. I threw the announcer jinx. I got through game one with no jinx. Kevin took the heat in game one.
Yours hit immediately, though. Kevin at least had a little bit of a buffer. Yours dropped immediately.
Matt, so far you're off the schneid, so stay off it.
Like Kurt Hennig, I've been absolutely perfect as far as jinxes go.
Counterattack for Team White, but they can't get out of their own zone with Hayden Bauman offside, though. Was that offside? Is a delayed offside call late here in the second period. 2-1 in the second of two single A All-Star games and the third of 5 PIHL All-Star games here on the island.
Yep, one crowd leaves, another arrives, and repeat the process for 5 games.
It's good to be alongside Matt Vandrak and Kevin Tomansky. Normally, Matt and I, in playoff time,
playoffs,
we share Kevin as a common color commentator between us. It's good to get all three of us together. It's happened before.
It did. We tried it out once. We liked it so much. We got the approval from the higher-ups, or higher-up, to do this one today.
Yes, thank you, Todd.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate having both of you with me, because usually when I'm working for Tenband, it's just the Matt Vandriak show. And usually there's plenty of me to go around, but
well, there was a line there, and I'm just.
I need people to feed me to feed or at least feed off my one-liners. I'm talking to myself.
I'm your guy, Matt. I'm your pop culture reference guy. Kevin is there too sometimes. He's worked beside both of us.
It depends on the category.
They're coming.
I just don't get the wrestling references. That just goes
that's half my material, Kevin.
This is like being at a holiday with your parents that split up, right? We're kind of sharing it for.
We share custody of KZ.
That was the running joke they've been telling me for years.
2A and 3A to come your way later on. D2 got things started, and then the Gold Division played the
1 minute remaining in the period.
Single A All-Star game right between this. We get to the final minute. Again, thanks to Mike Joseph. It was a really good interview with Coach GM Mike Joseph from RMU. A turn and a steal and a counterattack coming as Anthony Neely gets it up, but played by Dolan. You got to be careful because there's 2 4s. I got the harder roster, Matt. You only had 2 similar numbers in the first game, 1 on each team. There's a couple more in this one. Although eventually I'll figure out the differences between blue and red.
So let's run the standings real quickly. Mars with 47 points, Evanworth with 40, Moon with 40. Fewer games played for Moon, so I guess technically they might get second place. North Catholic 32, Wheeling Park 28, not eligible. Indiana 24, North Hills 23. That would be your playoff qualifiers, and after that is the line of demarcation. West A 17 and Hampton with 15.
Kevin, you mentioned that the standings there too. That pesky points percentage, we saw that come into play last year with Shaler and Indiana in the A playoffs, where we thought that Shaler was going to get the bye, but it ended up being Indiana due to the points percentage.
Yes.
Cochran with a steal and a turn here late. Preston Cochran in front. Stevenson was 1-on-1 with Ziegler, but he chipped it wide on the near post. As the buzzer sounds, that ends the second period after 2 in the varsity A All-Star game. It is Team Black, Cody Black's team, leading Team Uric by a score of 2-1. Quick break. Third period comes your way next on TenbandTV and Trib HSSN.
And it comes back to Lucas Blows. Hey, rookie, welcome to the show. The Penguins Cup Championship show. The Penguins Cup playoff show. And the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars putting on a show.
Tell the boys and girls I just don't care.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
We're back for the third period. Gets us 2 new goaltenders in this one. Why? Cleveland from North Catholic in the goal to our left, wearing the white shirt, wearing the red and black in the goal the other. And Luke Rowe has got great numbers from Indiana. He's in the goal to our right. 2-1 lead for Cody Black's team here in the second of 2 PIHL Class A All-Star games with Matt Vandrack, Kevin Zomansky, and Bob Orquist. Here's a turn by Weiland, who has Weiland the only goal for Coach Urich's team. Couldn't get an opportunity there early in this third period. No ice cuts. Normally in the regular season we'd get an ice cut between. Here it's 2-3. We got a goal and a 3-1 lead. It's the Avonworth contingent again. It's goal number 2 for Connor Ralston and a 3-1 lead for Team Black.
Late arriving, Bob, as the third forward in the zone. It was a good pass back, and he sniped him. Ralston with 24 goals on the season, 25 assists, 49 points. And you see the red jerseys right there. The center drive, Bob, the middle drive, taking the defenseman back, creating that space to pass it behind. And it was a good pass to Ralston. I think we're going to have Zadowski with another assist.
And I think Powell's going to get the other, so it's going to be triple Avonworth again.
Did we mention putting the same color jerseys together?
I might have heard that, but I think that...
Right? Put the sweaters together.
Oh, it's not Ralston.
Number 78, Austin Zadowski.
I thought it was Ralston.
It was Ralston. Powell got an assist. Sadowski got an assist. Ralston got the goal. I've missed assists before, but I'm pretty sure I usually get the shooter right.
That gets me on the
that was Ralston. Yes.
So
let's talk about.
That was number 27.
So we were correct.
There we go. There's the correction on the announcement.
We can't get the
when the top guys.
The 3-man advantage is on.
Plus, between the three of us, we have terrible eyesight, but I figured we would at least been able to figure out who it was.
Well, I was trying to add up our eyesight together. It came out to 20/20. Turns out that was just our IQs. I'll be back later.
He'll be here all weekend, ladies and gentlemen. 2-drink minimum.
3-1 lead for Cody Black's team. 2 for Ralston. By the way, Connor Ralston now has 3 goals as a 3-time All-Star. Scored 1 as a sophomore and 2 tonight so far as a senior.
You did the deep dive.
I did.
Oh, man.
Well, my son was sick Friday night, so he didn't play his JV basketball game, so I had some extra time. So I did deep dive into
that's why we get that's why I like to get the assignments out early, Bob, so you can bring your A game.
Love it. Abraham comes in down the left wing, Cooper Abraham. And that puck played off his stick. Trombat trying to get there. Schwartzball, the Hampton Talbot, also a lacrosse player, clears it away. But in the near side of Cooper Abraham trying to find it there. He plays boys lacrosse for Wheeling Park, leads the Patriots with 14 assists.
You were deep diving on lacrosse stats.
Across state lines at that.
Well, listen, if you put things on Twitter, now called X, right, or Max Preps, anywhere out there, that's what the key is, folks. We don't want your opinions. I cleaned that out. I was going to throw some adjectives. I just left it as opinions. We'd like to see that stat line at the top, right? If you play multiple sports, put your GPA there. That's what coaches are looking for as well. We had a chance to talk to Coach Powell about that, Kevin, talking about the student part of the student athletes. Joseph, rather.
Coach Mike Joseph.
Coach Mike Joseph. Why did I say Coach Powell?
I don't know. You called him Powell once during the interview. I was hoping he didn't catch it.
Luke Rao with a good glove save there and let this offensive zone face-off play before we hit this. But the next point I want to talk about, and Bob, you mentioned it, is that the goaltenders have been tremendous and have great stats for all of the teams involved. That's something that Brett Kiesel mentioned. I mean, he had the interview with him between games about how strong the goaltending is in this single A classification.
Luke Rouse, 6th with 7 wins in Class A, 6th with a 920 save percentage. He's a 3-time All-Star. And his role model goaltending-wise, the Flower. Got a right toe on that save.
It's a good role model. I was going to
good
guess Tristan Jari. That's a sarcastic guess, of course.
Did we mention the new goalies in the third period? I'm not sure.
I did when we came on.
Okay, good.
Backhanded front, and there's a save by Cleveland, who is also a 3-time All-Star. So we got 2 3-time All-Star goaltenders here in period number 3 in Class A. Trying to come out of zone is Coball for North Hills. I got a comment, and I'm going to talk about North Hills here in a second with you guys. Is coming down on the backhand with Ethan Backer, but could get a shot on the net. Zagorski trying to keep it in. Max Zagorski does. Backer's in. Oh, good stick late. Puck bounces up, but it's gloved. 2 years ago, North Hills, one of the top teams in Class A. This is the relegation, quote unquote, in PIHL. They were undefeated going into the playoffs. They get upset. Last year they moved to 2A, only 1 win, and now they're back in the playoff hunt, moving into single A. So it's up and down, but you can see the differences in the classifications right there with North Hills.
Well, as you often see in scholastic sports there, Bob, that was the year for North Hills. They had good senior leadership, good senior players, and then the math pushed them into 2A after these kids graduated, and it wasn't a good situation. That was one they got caught in the wash. That didn't work out well for them, and now it settles out again where they're in 1A this season.
I'm not putting that out there to be critical of the PIHL. I really think that they've got the formula as close as possible to being good.
It is. I think this is something that, Bob, we've talked about this before, of how different this was when we started, when I started this with MSA 20 years ago. Your first round of the playoffs were just one-sided mismatches, and everything's kind of balanced out. And, Kevin, that's something maybe would be a good point for us to touch on here through this third period, how the PIHL goes about what they look at when they decide what teams are going to be in what classifications, or if there's going to be relegation.
There is a formula that's kind of tweaked, and it's also weighted. So there are, you mentioned point percentage, so it's kind of the last 3 seasons. And this is the part that was added for when I knew the formula the best. It was 3 seasons, and it had it would add up to 0.6, and it was 0.4 based on your enrollment. The enrollment is kind of weighted, is the proper word for it now. And then we rank all the schools from 1 to the bottom, and then we start deciding how many we want to have in each. And I was part of that discussion this year. There was a long discussion about how many to have in 2 and 3A. We had like 4 meetings with the commissioner to try to figure it out.
Just to clarify, it wasn't long because you were involved, right?
Correct. It was long to kind of, because you wait for team declarations.
You covered for me earlier, so I got to cover for my partner.
Team declarations on, maybe who's going to have varsity, who isn't, who's going to be new, who isn't. And we talked about having 14 in 2A, and it just ended up that the commissioner decided he wanted to have 11 in 3A and 11 in 2A, and then put everyone else in 1A. So
11:40 left in this third period, 3-1 lead for Cody Black's team over Coach Urich's team.
We're going to have the commissioner join us after the game for a post-game interview to talk about all things PIHL and All-Star Sunday as well.
That was a setup, kind of led right into it. That should be a delayed offsides that they missed.
Could be a counterattack coming the other way. Could be a hat trick for Ralston. Good stick at the end there by Mason Huey to deny Connor Ralston.
Man, Matt, when you're doing the interview, I encourage you to ask him about it.
I will. That's a conversation I've actually wanted to have some more about.
This is why we tie together.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring that up, Kevin, but if I have any say in future PIHL endeavors, I think the West Virginia teams deserve a chance to play in the playoffs. I've thought that for a long time.
You're not the only one.
I lean towards that as well. See, we're much to handle. Folks know this who've been around us, right? But put us all together, at least we temper each other down a little bit.
Collectively.
Because we can only talk one at a time, even though we try differently.
Collectively, we are an efficient unit.
We are.
That's usually my fault for not waiting my turn.
Puck in their own zone. And
that's why we're putting our hands up here for roll call here in this second game. When it's my turn to make a point, let's put my hand up.
Ralston goes coast to coast behind one net to behind the other. Still with that puck on a string.
Wow,
Great pass. And a shot deflected wide. Powell, and getting his left arm on it was a good save by Wyatt Cleveland.
Yep, definitely more Cavaliers than Browns there because Cleveland got a win with that one.
Might be fair to say Ralston's been the best player on the ice this game.
Matt, by the way, will be opening for me later on tonight. No doubt.
That's Gwen Stefani.
Kevin, that's because familiarity with his teammates. That was a great pass, right corner to left post from Ralston to Powell.
Avin worked with a new coach this year. He's on the bench tonight.
Chris Chisano's an assistant coach.
He's also a VP with the league.
Well, Wyatt Cleveland couldn't see it, and he made a save not even knowing. Nettleton, we had a little cross. They were kind of bouncing that puck. Trosky, Jonathan Trosky, good wrist shot, better blocker save at the other end by Luke Rowell.
Business is picking up in the third period again. A little back and forth both ways, and both goaltenders sharp to keep the score where it stands.
Cleveland did what goaltenders are taught nowadays, right? You can't find the puck, make yourself as big as possible. That applies to a screen, but that also worked there for Wyatt Cleveland as that puck was flipping up in the air over top his head, and he couldn't see it. Good
face-off win there by Nettleton. And one of the things I noticed, Bob, is his stick is extremely long. Number 19 in black.
Is that the Nikolai Ehlers stick? Another blocker save. By
Tremendous reference, by the way.
You're welcome. Out of the zone. Mitch Timsick from Richland. He dropped pass and a trailer and a glove save. Zagorski, the defense, trailing, and a better leather flashing save by Wyatt Cleveland.
Cleveland making sure the Rivers weren't burning with that stop.
Maybe I'll be opening for Matt later on tonight.
If you want Cleveland or Philadelphia material, I'm your guy.
Zagorski with a nice trailing wrist shot, the defenseman. But a better save by Cleveland. Keeps it 3-1. Cody Black's team. A goal from Ben Bowser, 2 from Connor Ralston. The opening goal in this game scored by John Weiland from West Allegheny. The Coach Urick's team, there's a shot down low that goes over top the net. Cleared up, maybe a 2-on-1 by Mars, but the pass too far from Bowser, too far ahead from his teammate Jack Weaver, who plays for the North Pittsburgh Wildcats, also on the team, I believe, with his brother Grant. Weaver is not one of the lacrosse players from Mars who play hockey. But we've got maybe a 3-on. We had a 2-on-1 attempt for Mars. Then we got a 3-on-2. Bowser, Factor, back in front for Weaver, and it's broken up by the North Catholic team. And here they come the other way.
The plans didn't align there, Bob.
Bauman, I like it. Lost it. Factor leaves it. Oh, and Weaver over skates. Trying again, move. 3 for a quarter. Pass. High tip. He tried to slide that through to Chris Bouchard. It was deflected away, never got on Wyatt Cleveland as we near 8 minutes to go in the third period. Counterattack comes for Beckett Dunn, the talented North Catholic Trojan. Also on the Pittsburgh Vengeance. He's a 3-time All-Star, scored a goal last year, did Beckett Dunn in the All-Star game. And a steal, could we get it again? No. Out of steam, says Jack Weaver. Tapped his helmet, I saw it as he was skating up the far side. That's a football reference. Cummings with a good job. Mentioned that Michael Cummings, who also plays for the Pittsburgh Vengeance, his dad Ian is the interim head coach now at Hampton. Took over earlier this month with the Talbots. He's tied up in the right corner, kicked by Joey Stevenson, who's I thought been very noticeable, and he almost gets a tip there. I think he might have deflected that wide. Dolan keeps it in. Jack Dolan at the near point. Amongst the Avonworth players who've been definitely noticeable, as they've got 3 players with 2 points and 1 with 2 goals in Connor Ralston. Schwartz ball in his own zone, will play it on the backhand to Cochran, to Dolan, who leads the rush. Trying to stick in around Huey, who had none of it. Clears it back to Eli Schwartzball. Morgan Huey back in his own zone. Will play it. Mason Huey, excuse me. 4 goals and 12 points. Pretty good production from the back line.
Net's off. See if Cleveland resets it on his own here.
Austin Blau in his own zone. Also plays football at Richland High School in the Johnstown area.
Cambria County represented.
Yeah, they returned to the league a few years ago.
in front. Stevenson fires, absorbed by Cleveland. Yeah, they were gone for 14 years, Richland, before returning in 23.
I think it was a combination
24.
of maybe they didn't have the players, and then they got organized. They were in there's another league out that way, and then they decided they wanted to return here, put in an application.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the league, Kevin, but that's where a lot of the teams from like Central Pennsylvania, like the Cambria, Blair County areas where State College moved up to as well.
Choose not to share it at this point. We're not going to promote their league on this league's All-Star Day.
Fair enough.
Blau in his own zone. Switolski steals, fires. Never got through. Blocked in front by Zadowski, I believe.
We learned about new leagues last year with Greensburg-Salem as well.
Cleared up and squirting out of the zone for Team Black, Cody Black's team, and the colored jerseys, the dark jerseys. They've got a 3-1 lead. Team White, coached by Kobe Yorick.
Used to be the Rhodes, are now the homes in the league, and I wish they'd go back, right? I like
in the NHL, I wish they would.
In the NHL, because you see the different color schemes when they come to visit.
Oh, that's a good right toe save by Cleveland on a slapper from the right point.
And we tried to pick it up, Bob. Dawson tried to pick that one up.
Also, back in the day, they used to have blue and white, and they would just have their jerseys would be different numbers. And they switched that several years ago to wearing your own uniforms.
Which I'm not disliking, to be honest with you.
You know, that was another long discussion because it was like a create jerseys and they let them keep them, and we tried to collect them, and it just became a whole thing. And it was easier to identify the players for the fans
and the broadcasters.
Well, I mean, this makes it much easier with the names for us. So from our perspective, it's a plus.
So it just
blocker
helped.
saved by Luke Rao.
It helped you guys call the games, which was not the big discussion. It helped the fans.
Why was it not?
And then it helped the costs.
Why was it not, Mr. Liaison?
Because
I can ask the commissioners right behind you.
I had to keep my credibility to not speak for the broadcasters while
we kid Kevin because we can. He's certainly used to it by now. 4:45 to go, third period, a 3-1 lead for the team in the dark jerseys, coached by Cody Black.
Well, after 16 goals combined for in the D2 game, we're lagging a little bit behind here through these two 1A games. Only 4 on the board here after 6 in the first one.
4-2, and one of those, a late empty netter. That was the goal division.
Oh, look, he lost his blade. He's helping him over. A steel popped out of his skate, and he pushed him over.
Sportsmanship at its finest on display right there by Ethan Vactor.
Yeah, Ethan Vactor opened Dylan Coball to the bench.
That would not happen in a regular game.
Well, let me tell you this.
It happened to Anjay Kopitar the other night in the Pence Kings
Get
game.
tied together, they both play for the Arctic Foxes.
Of course, doing a deep dive, you would know they're amateur teams. Were you looking up PHL rosters, too?
I'm not going to comment on what I was doing Friday night, what I was watching while I was doing it. It wasn't Riverview JV basketball. You know that already. But I liked it Vactor helping Coball out there.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen to Sidney Crosby because he might be.
He is.
I also read that
he doesn't have the clip-ins, the snap-ins.
Connor McDavid also uses the old school steal.
And I read that today too that you're talking about, and I could relate to the feel of the softness, like the sort of the bend. I know what he was talking about from my days of playing.
You know, Matt Vactor deserved the goal right there.
He's trying to be rewarded. Good karma.
He deserved the karma right there.
But Wyatt Cleveland would have none of it. He's not going to be as friendly. Let one go through. He made a good pad save.
Puck is at the neutral zone with 3:10 to go.
Oh, nice head fake.
Really good. Jack Turch will come in. He's getting down the left wing against 2 of his teammates from the Mars Planets. Zagorski actually gets that puck to Nettleton. 3-1 lead for the teams in the dark sweaters. There's Bowser as a goal. He got things kick-started after I broke the announcer's jinx out in the first period. Bowser, good job on that puck over on the right wing boards. Gets it to the right point. Cleveland, an easy save. Looking like a shortstop or first baseman on the bouncer off the stick of Jack Dolan. Two and a half, 2:33 to be exact, left in this third period. Third of 5 All-Star games, second of the 2 Class A games. Matt Vandrek, Kevin Zomansky, and myself, Bob Workwis, on all of those. Hope you've been enjoying it. enjoy bringing it to you.
We provide a lot of useless side effects.
See, but if you pay attention, then your families were like, where did you get this trivia? And that's why my family keeps me around, to truth be told. Counterattack for Beckett Dunn. Trailing by 2. He's going to draw a penalty. That's got to be a slash. It sounded like a slash.
That's the third penalty call from the same official.
I think this one was kind of obvious with Dunn on the counterattack.
Dolan definitely tied him up with the stick. He'll sit down, and that will bring up our third Penny.com power play try here of the second period. Bob, nobody in these All-Star games has converted, at least in the A games, on the PP yet.
We got 2:04 in 2 minutes. Would you pull Wyatt Cleveland at some point, Coach Kev?
Yeah.
Turch fire, save, rebound. Still there, Bauman snagged. Rowell made the first save. Second one never got on him. Third one might have been off the net, but still a nifty glove save for Luke Rowell.
Well, it was good execution. A pass from below the goal line to the point. They shifted the defenders down, created that space up high for the shot opportunity for Turch.
Trying to get it out of the zone, but couldn't, was Joey Stevenson.
This is where you get Cleveland right now. You got control, you got it down low.
He's just hanging with his arm across the crossbar. Huey center point. Blocker save. Rowell's made 4 blocker saves in this third period.
This is where Cleveland should be slamming his stick on the ice and taking a few strides out, yelling at the bench.
I'm sure regular season-wise that would have been discussed already. Turch plays catch with Huey center point. Fans. Short-handed. Joey Stevenson.
2-on-0.
It's actually a 2-on-0 with the Hampton Talbots. Stevenson to the backhand, and Cleveland denies it, and Cleveland lost his pad. We saw a skate blade, and it's no left leg pad for Wyatt Cleveland.
That's a first for me.
Yeah, that's
a first for me.
I don't know if we get a chance if we could run that again, but
here it's going to come up here, Kevin.
What a good play by Cummings.
Oh, it's after.
The delay is a little less now from the first game, Bob, because there's fewer people here. But Cummings was on the 2-on-1 with Stevenson, and he didn't worry about the puck. He put his path in front of the first back checker, which became like an obstacle. Very heads-up smart play.
And a good save by Wyatt Cleveland, and then loses the pillow.
Okay, so they're playing this. I'm going to ask this question I just heard someone pose recently, because you guys are both musical guys. Van Halen, Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth.
Van Hagar all the way.
I'm going to outvote Matt. I go with David Lee Roth. A bigger catalog, a more dynamic frontman until he got goofy later in his life.
I'm always going to be pro Van Hagar.
Listen, I do like Van Hagar. Let me just put that out there as well. Puck played away, cleared away. Cleveland not only doesn't come off the ice, Kevin, but had to get redressed on the ice. And there henceforth, Coach Jurg would say, listen, if he's not in there, it's 4-1.
Maybe he should do it right now.
Hartsock in with 36 seconds, and that's a save. Upper body save by Luke Rowell.
Well, you might have had another player to keep possession in there, too, so you can't just assume that they're going to get that 2-on-0. Oh!
In front score, Svitolski. Brandon Svitolski, the West Allegheny senior, taps it in. It is a power play goal. It comes with 23.5 seconds left in period 3.
Our first Penny.com power play goal of the 2 Duff single A games. And now we're within a goal. With 23.5 left, there's still a chance. Striking distance, you might say. Not the movie with Bruce Willis either.
Well, if you see it here again on the replay, watch the cut right there by Trombot, right? He was in the high slot, and he saw that his teammate there, Hartsock, was fumbling a little, and he cut. Now the goalie's out.
Goal scored by number 85, Brendan Svitolski.
Svitolski, by the way, 7 goals for
Assisted by number 33,
West Allegheny. Plays amateur for the Mount Lebanon Hornets. Empty net shot wide by Vactor. In his own zone, Corin. Down to 15 seconds. Long stretch pass. Hartsock deflects it in. It's onside with 10 seconds. Hartsock does get an assist. Vactor can't clear. 5 seconds to shoot it. Picked up and cleared by Zadowski. And that'll do it. This one is going to end in favor of Cody Black's dark shirts. They beat Team York by a score of 3-2 in this one. We can run over the goals in this one, and we've got a special interview coming up with the commissioner of the PIHL.
All right, here we go, Bob. Let's run the scoring very quickly before Matt brings the commissioner in. It's going to be John Weiland from Josh Corin and Nick Haig on the first goal in the first period, 11:42 mark. Then it was Ben Balser, unassisted at the 15:53 mark for the goal for the blue team. That makes it 1-1. And then Connor Ralston for the blue team made it 2-1. Assist to Zadovsky and Weaver. And then no scoring into the third until that last goal was scored by
So just wanted to get a chance to tell you guys, great to work with you, Matt and Kevin.
That was fun.
And great job by Todd and everyone at Tenband and Jess and Dylan as well from HSSN. And I will truly turn it over to a higher power for this interview. But hope you enjoy coverage of the second of the two PIHL All Star games.
And jumping in to join us here on a post-game interview is PIHL Commissioner Tom Halliburka. Commish, thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Let's talk a little bit about All-Star Sunday. This has become an event, and it's really grown a lot over the years, and kind of what goes into making this happen and how much, how do you guys make this become such a successful event?
Well, depending on how much time you have, I can get into the nuts and bolts, but it takes it's a concerted effort by the staff here at the PIHL, a very talented, very dedicated staff who put all these things together, from getting the ice to getting the sweatshirts, the awards, putting an ever-changing roster together, which is quite a task. Finding the kids or finding the players, conversing with the representatives from the teams, and all those things. It's quite an undertaking. It's a wonderful event. The players walk in, these young students, these athletes that come in here to play. They walk in, they have a smile on their face, they're greeted by smiles. Coaches, fans, everyone's enthusiastic. A lot of kids from different programs, arms around each other, taking pictures together, playing together, scattered lines. This is one of our hallmark or our benchmark type events of the season. That
featured events.
Featured events, correct? Yeah, it's just really something that I enjoy immensely. I love coming here and watching this whole thing unfold. And thank God that my staff makes me look and makes this program what it is, makes us all look good. It's great for the kids.
I've had the pleasure of covering high school hockey around here in Western PA for 20 years now. It's my 20th season, and the growth and the way this league has improved has been exponential recently. Just the competitiveness in the playoffs and the quality of the games. Just kind of tell the audience a little bit, if they're not familiar, about how you guys go about classifying teams and setting these classifications up to make sure that these divisions and brackets are as competitive as they've been.
The classifications, in the way that we come up with that, we use a comparative formula that is a time-tested now set of rules that govern gameplay, male athletes in your school district, record over a 4-year term, a 4-year period, and all that information gives you a number, a percentage number that helps put us into these teams, into the classifications where they belong. And hopefully that leads to a competitive balance throughout the season, which I agree with you. I believe it is. It's bearing itself to be a very positive effect on the league. The results, as it rolls down to the playoffs and in through the finals, have borne out to be very competitive, very closely contested games. The contests are, just tightly fought by these teams, and a lot of times can go either way, with the occasional upset in the mix. But I think it bears itself out really to be a positive tool that we use, and takes the human element out of putting these teams together and where we would believe, or where one would believe that they would belong.
Yeah, and we hit on it during the game, Tom, and the errors. Like, I was part of those conversations, and it's, we go from top to bottom, and then we try to figure out where you want to slot them, and ultimately you made the decision on where you wanted to put everyone. And, it's not perfect. A couple schools get caught up, and maybe for a year where they shouldn't be, but for the most part, I think it works out really well for everyone.
I agree, Kevin. I think that there is some degree of ebb and flow that, works its way through these programs from time to time, but overall, as a baseline, I think we're heading in the right direction, and I'm glad to have inherited that system. It works well.
PIHL Commissioner Tom Halliburton joining us here between games. And Tom, just so you know, you're our second guest of the afternoon. We had Brett Kiesel on between periods, between the end of the first game. And just to let you know, you have a better beard than Brett Kiesel.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to spread that good word, the good beard word out there. And I get a little resistance at home, but I'll bring her over to the dark side, bring him over to the dark side sooner or later. But
thanks a lot, Commissioner. We appreciate having you on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the Class A All-Star games for Bob Orquist and Kevin Zomansky, Matt Vandriak. Keep it here. More PIHL All-Star Sunday coming up on Triple Live HSSN and TenbandTV.
Stevenson did get a shot on goal, but it was a right pad save by Hastings. Here comes a chance and a counter and a goal! John
Point shot.
And their teammate almost back clear.
And there it is.
There it is, Bob.
The jinx. Bowser, a lacrosse-type goal.
Point shot.
And their teammate almost back clear.
And there it is.
There it is, Bob.
The jinx. Bowser, a lacrosse-type goal.
It doesn't happen at the college level. If you can't play 5-on-5 hockey, you're going to be in trouble. So that's what I'm looking for.
You're kind of evaluating does the decision.
Absolutely, because that's the hardest thing to teach kids. If we get them at the college level, if they don't already have some of that high IQ built in, it's very difficult to teach that. So sometimes people look at my roster and see that there are a fair number of players from the Pittsburgh area on my rosters, all my teams, even my D1 team. And people go, well, that's...
And he does. They got on Ziegler, not so he made a save. Got it in front. Zitowski's doing it's loose, and it's tapped in. And the Avonworth players, they're early in this third period. No ice cuts normally in the regular season. We'd get an ice cut between periods 2 and 3. We got a goal and a 3-1 lead. That's the Mitch Timsick from Richland. He dropped pass and a trailer and a glove save. Zagorski, the defense, trailing and a better
in there too, so you can't just assume that they're going to get that 2-on-0. Oh,
in front score, Switolski, Brandon Switolski, the West Allegheny.